We welcome you to the River States Conference game of the men's basketball game of the week. It's the number 24 ranked IU Southeast Grenadiers and the Brescia Bearcats as the Grenadiers look to clinch the number 1 overall seed in the upcoming River States Conference men's basketball tournament as the regular season champion and an automatic berth to the NAIA National Tournament. It'll be Grenadier basketball to start. Jamie Johnson drives the lane and scores. A good start for the Grenadiers. There's a three that's good for Dylan Geralds. So he answers right back for the Bearcats. Johnson drives and is fouled. And Rowland picks up his first. Jackson to trigger it in for the Grenadiers. Here's Sawyer on his senior day. And another foul call. And a nice play, Jackson to Sawyer, and he throws it down. Great inbounds pass from Jackson. That's an exclamation point on your senior day right there. Geralds again drives. With Jackson on him, looking for some help. Out to Rowland. Rowland down the lane. Three, that's off by Geralds. I'm sorry, by McDaniel. Stanton to Jackson. Left wing. Rob Sawyer calling for it. Back to Landry for two. Short. Geralds to the basket. Scores. Stanton down to Landry, who scores on the reverse. So the seniors making their presence felt so far. They've scored 4 out of the 6 points for IU Southeast as they lead at 6-5, 2 minutes in. A nice move down low. McDaniel scores. Stanton down to Landry. He spins, scores. And there's a nice drive there by Johnson, who missed the layup, and he's still down. Stanton for three, in and out. And Howard's going to check in to replace Johnson. Geralds, pull-up jumper, off. Nice rebound there. That was Geralds on the putback. Here's Stanton to Landry, blocked. Blocked by Carter. Here comes Rowland. Howard down to Carter. Throws it away and stolen by Sawyer. Here comes Jackson to Johnson, back to Jackson, down to Landry. Oh, and he's fouled. Undercut. And Carter picks up his second. Landry looks to be okay. Jackson down to Sawyer. Lost the ball and it's stolen by DeBoyko. That's missed by DeBoyko. That follow was missed as well. Jackson pulls down the board. Here comes Joe Jackson to the free throw line. Down to Sawyer. Up and in. 10-9 now. IU Southeast. 15:25 left. First half. Nice spin move there by Mason Rowland. Back and forth we go, 5 minutes in. Stanton looking to right side for Jamie Johnson to Landry. Drives baseline and scores. Nice strong move by Tyler Landry. He's got 6 points already, half the team's points on his senior day. The two seniors, Robert Sawyer and Tyler Landry here for the Grenadiers. That shot was altered by Jackson. I don't think he actually touched it, but it was altered, and then he lost the ball. DeBoyko stole it. Roland, Gerald's for three in the corner, and that's good. Joe Jackson at the top of the key. 10 to shoot. To Stanton. To Jamie Johnson. Looking for play down low to Sawyer, and they call an offensive foul on him. Howard for three. Off. Tipped by Landry out of bounds, and it's going to stay with, well, it was going to stay with Brescia, and it's actually going to go to the Grenadiers. Here's Joe Free, who's checked in. To Jackson. To Sawyer. He drives, takes it, and is fouled. Strong move by Robert Sawyer there. Nice aggressive move, and he draws a foul. It'll be the fourth team foul on Brescia. And Sawyer misses the first.
Number 3, Jamie Johnson back in for the Grenadiers, replacing W3 Stanton.
Missed both. (14-12) here. Brescia with the lead and the ball. 7 minutes into the game. This is the final River States Conference game of the week for the basketball season. DeBoyko misses. Nearly stolen by Rowland. Grenadiers coming out a little sluggish here. They haven't played since Tuesday at Midway. And the shots aren't falling so far, and some sloppy passing so far as well. Sawyer missed it. Rebounded by Howard. Here comes Johnson. Back to Howard. Howard for three, no. Rebounded Landry. Jackson down to Sawyer. This seems to be in the game plan. They're going to try and pound the post here so far. Sawyer to Faree for three. Off, too strong. And Johnson to the basket. Blocked by Jackson, out of bounds. And we've got a timeout here. 14-12, Brescia with the lead. 11:48 to go, first half. You're watching IU Southeast men's basketball on the Grenadier Sports Network. Welcome back to the River States Conference Game of the Week. Brescia triggers it in here after the timeout. DeBoyko scores. And then another turnover. Johnson stole it. Howard blocked by Jackson. Faree on the other end scores. Faree for three. McDaniel gets Landry to bite on the pump fake, and he's fouled. Gets the basket and the foul. He'll go to the line for the three-point play. So McDaniel completes the three-point play. The sophomore from Bowling Green. And it's a 4-point lead for the Bearcats. Here's Deshaun Lewis to Devin White to Joe Jackson. 10 to shoot. Jackson pulls up, short. Rebounded Sawyer, missed the layup, and then Lewis is fouled on the third try. Free in the corner to Jackson. He drives and traveled. Another Grenadier turnover. And a travel on the other end by Morrow. Stanton, Sawyer, right wing, back to Faree. Stanton had the face mask on earlier. He's suffering from a broken nose. He's lost it. He's taking it off and gets the roll there on the jumper. He's on the board for the first time today. Halfway through this first half. Morrow dribbled it off his foot, lost it. Sawyer picks it up. Devin White, pull-up jumper, good. Then we're tied. And a timeout, 30-second timeout for Brescia. So a quick little run by the Grenadiers ties this game at 19 as Devin White scores in transition. And can the Grenadiers wake up here after a sluggish first 10 minutes or so, at least 8 minutes of this first half? Out of the timeout, Brescia inbounds, 9:45 to go here, first half. Gerald scores. Free for three. Off. Tipped by White, out of bounds, and it'll be Brescia basketball. Rowland dishes to McDaniel, and he's fouled. Congrats to the IU Southeast baseball team as they pick up their first win of the season, 9-7 over Lindenwood Belleville. Cecil with the win today. So the Grenadiers now 1-2 for the number 22 ranked team in the country. There's Lewis who finishes. Richard Rodriguez hit a 3-run home run in that game. So the Grenadiers on the winning side of the scoreboard there, and they'll play game 2 of that doubleheader shortly. Here, Gerald's steps back, takes a long 2 and hits it. Gerald's a nice first half for him. 14 of the 25 points for Brescia so far. And then on the Grenadier end of the court, Devin White steps out of bounds for another IU Southeast turnover. A little bit sloppy for the Grenadiers here to open this contest. And an illegal, or a foul away from the ball, rather. That'll be on McDaniel. Johnson all the way to the hoop. He scores. And then Rowland loses it. Here comes Johnson again to Mills, steps into a 3 and hits it. And the Grenadiers are back in front. That's a wild shot there. Here come the Grenadiers again. It's White to Mills. Mills fakes, gives it to Sawyer. Ball batted around, and Sawyer gets to the basket and scores. Morrow to Rowland, who scores on the drive. Johnson's going to take a 3 in the corner. That's an air ball. That's stolen. Here comes Johnson to the basket, scores. And almost a steal by Lewis. He got the steal on the last possession. But then McDaniel's lost in transition. Lewis spins, turnaround jumper short. Rebounded by Rowland. To Gerald's, a long 3. Rolls off. Rebounded by Lewis. Mills left wing. That's a tough pass. Johnson tracks it down. And Johnson's going to take a timeout. 12 seconds left on the shot clock for the Grenadiers. 5:11 to go, first half. And the Grenadiers have a 1-point lead. But a lot of sloppy passing. and some defensive breakdowns are keeping Brescia in this game, as well as Gerald's strong play. So Mills will trigger it in after the timeout. Lost it, picks it back up. 5 to shoot. Jackson. Jackson. White drives baseline, missed it. Howard drives on Mills and scores. White down to Landry. Jumper. Good. Howard bumped. I think that'll be Mills. It is. I'm sorry, on 11, Devin White. And we'll be back. IU Southeast with a 32-31 lead in the River States Conference Game of the Week. You're watching IU Southeast men's basketball on the Grenadier Sports Network. Howard misses the first after the foul on White. His first, the 4th team foul. Howard makes the second and ties it. Jackson down to Landry. Double teams. Nearly lost it, and then he threw it away. Rolling with the steal. And that one's good for McDaniel. He rattles it home. Landry again. Out to Faree for 3. Off. Stolen by Faree. Stanton to Glenn Hill. He's fouled on the way up. So Glenn Hill will go to the line for 2 after the foul on Murray. The first one is in and out. And he makes the second. Johnson. Good battle down low between Hill and Geralds. Here's Howard. Rolls off. But he's fouled on the drive.
Number 21, Joe Jackson, his first 15 foul. And the line for Brescia, there's zero straight. Howard will shoot 2. And for the Grenadiers, number 22 is Sean Lewis, replacing Sawyer. And for Brescia, number 20, Terrell Davis.
There's a foul, another foul call on Brescia there. And Joe Jackson will go to the line.
That was on number 20, Terrell Davis, sets his first 18th foul. And the line for the Grenadiers, number 21, Joe Jackson, he'll shoot 2.
Jackson's good on the first. And he's on the board for the first time. Johnson across the timeline. 2:55 to go here, first half. 3 on the way. Good for Murray. Glenn Hill back the other way, draws the foul.
Foul number 20, Terrell Davis sets his second 19th foul. And the line for the Grenadiers, number 25, Glenn Hill. He'll shoot 2.
So Hill back at the free throw line. And it thought about it, but it rolled in.
Number 23, Robert Sawyer, back in the game for the Grenadiers, replacing Lewis.
Makes the second one as well. Now the pressure picks up for the Grenadiers. Johnson's fouled hard. And he'll go to the line for 2.
His first, team 6, and the line for Brescia, number 2. Taylor Johnson will shoot 2.
First one rattles in.
Back in for the Grenadiers, number 11, Devin White, replacing Hill.
Second one's good as well. 41-37. Stanton for 3. Off. Geralds. Wow, a wild shot by Murray. Tried to get a foul called, I think, and it didn't happen. And Johnson the other way missed the layup. but Sawyer gets the putback. Gerald's. And a blocking foul on Devin White. Missed it badly. Joe Jackson gets the basket and the foul. And he ties the game. Johnson draws a foul. That should be a 1-and-1. I don't think he was shooting. Apparently it's a two-shot foul. Second one's good as well. So Brescia takes the lead right back. This game's gone back and forth throughout. Johnson to the basket. He's fouled. And one. Johnson can't finish the three-point play, and the Grenadiers lead by one as we come up on a minute to play here, first half. Gerald's back out to Rowland. Rowland, Gerald's fakes. And he gets the basket and the foul. He's got 16. Landry will check in for Jackson. Missed it. Johnson to Faree, back to Sawyer. Sawyer to the basket, offensive foul. Gerald spins and traveled. Looks like Johnson will hang on to it and hold for the final shot. 12 to shoot. Landry sets a screen to Mills. Mills, a tough shot, an air ball. That cannot be what you want. And that shot won't go. The underhand shot by Howard. And Brescia is going to take a 45-44 lead into halftime of the River States Conference Game of the Week. So we'll be back with halftime stats in a moment. You're watching IU Southeast Men's Basketball on the Grenadier Sports Network. Welcome back to halftime here of the River States Conference Game of the Week. Brescia leads IU Southeast 45-44. Halftime stats for you. Dylan Gerald's a game-high 16 points for the Bearcats. Zach McDaniel has added 11. Trey Howard has 5. 4 points apiece for Tavon Johnson and Mason Rowland. And Tristan Murray has 3. Coyote DeBoyko has 2 points for the Bearcats. For the Grenadiers, 3 folks with 8 points. Robert Sawyer, Tyler Landry, and Jamie Johnson all have 8. Joe Jackson has 5. Jacob Mills and Joe Free each have hit 3-point field goals to give them 3 points. Glenn Hill has 3 points, and Devin White and Deshaun Lewis each have 2 points. So all the Grenadiers have entered the game, have scored. Hot shooting teams here, as the points would indicate. Brescia shooting 53% from the field, 16 of 30. They're 43% from behind the arc, 3 of 7, 10 of 13 for 77% from the free throw line. For the Grenadiers, they're shooting 55% from the field, 18 of 33, just 2 of 9 from three-point range.
6-6. Let's go another 15 seconds. They go for it.
And three-point field goals for the Grenadiers, 2 of 9, and 6 of 10 from the free throw line. So the three-point field goal that the Grenadiers have relied upon throughout the season, not falling so far. We'll see what happens in the second half. Both teams limiting their turnovers, only 8 turnovers apiece in the first half. Grenadiers outscoring the Bearcats 30-20 in the paint. And Grenadiers may now capitalize off turnovers 10-5 in points off turnovers. So good game so far, as both offenses have done quite well here in the first half. We'll be back with the second half in about 10 minutes here on the Grenadiers Sports Network. We welcome you back as we get ready to start the second half here of the River States Conference Game of the Week. Brescia leads 45-44 after 20 minutes. It'll be Brescia basketball. Three for Gerald's blocked. And Johnson goes into the Brescia bench. Johnson nearly stole it. $18 to shoot for the Bearcats. Nice pass down low from Rowland to Carter. And Brescia gets the first points of the second half. Johnson to the free throw line, to Joe Jackson to the basket, and he's fouled. So Jackson will go to the line for two. Grenadiers tried to pound the ball down low early, and it worked for a little bit. And they really didn't have a choice, as the perimeter shots weren't really falling. Only 2 of 9 from three-point range. Makes 1 of 2. Gerald's for 3. Good. Can't leave him. Stanton to Landry. No. Nice pass to Carter, blocked. Landry up to Johnson. Johnson all the way, and he scores. Hangs in the air and scores. Three from Johnson short. And Rob scores. Robert Sawyer on the other end on his senior day gets into double figures. Gerald to Carter. Jumper, too strong. Rebounded Jackson. Landry calling for it. Stanton says, I got this, and nails it. It's a long 2. Johnson the other way, scores for Brescia. Johnson, right wing. Stepped on the inline.
Number 10, Joe Faree, back in for the Grenadiers, replacing number 3, Jamie Johnson.
Stanton. Up and under. Scores. Rowland misses that one, but McDaniel grabs a loose ball down to Gerald's. He's double teamed. He still scores. You can't stop this guy right now. He's got 21. Jackson, jump stop, lost it. Johnson back the other way for Brescia. He scores. Jackson at the free throw line. Jump stop again. Looking for help. He finds Stanton to Landry. Jumper. Good. Grenadiers need to get some stops here. They're just letting Brescia score way too easily here. Carter. Back out to Gerald's, a long three, and barely draws iron. Back to him, to the basket this time, and he scores. And Wiley Brown's going to call for time, and I think rightfully so. They are letting the Brescia Bearcats get to the basket way too easily at this point. So the Grenadiers trail by 5 here. 15:05 to go in the contest. Grenadiers able to get some good looks here offensively, and they've been able to convert, but Brescia's hanging right with them on the offensive end. And we got a foul down low. And Jackson picks that up. Is that what you want out of a timeout? This press has not really worked very well against this backcourt for the Bearcats so far. We'll see if the Grenadiers can force any turnovers here, but both teams doing very well so far to limit the turnovers. Knocked away by Jackson. Here comes Johnson for three, but Gerald's has a couple tries at a putback, and Rob Sawyer rips down the board. White baseline, fakes, hits the underside of the rim. And the Bearcats come back the other way. And an offensive foul on Rowland.
Offensive foul, called under 12, Mason Rowland, that's his second, team second. Grenadier basketball, looking for Brescia number 0, Trey Howard. Replacing number
Rob Sawyer calls for it. Spins. Double team, throws it back out. Johnson lost it on the way up. Here comes Rowland. Good block by Lewis. He flies in out of nowhere. Johnson the other way. Short, no foul called. Johnson looking for a call, won't get it. Wow, a nice floater there by Howard, and he's going to go to the line for one more. An 8-point lead for the Bearcats. 13 minutes to go here in the game. Stanton. Bumped and he's fouled on the floor. Three for Stanton. That's off. White the other way, missed it. Nothing's falling right now for the Grenadiers, and Brescia's hitting everything. Johnson with a fadeaway there. He tries it again, missed it. White to Stanton is fouled on a reach-in.
foul number 2, Taylor Johnson, his first 14th foul for Grenadier basketball. Number 21, Joe Jackson, back in for the Grenadiers, replacing White.
Sawyer, top of the key. Johnson down low to Sawyer. He spins. Back to Joe Jackson. Jackson up high off the glass. No, Sawyer with the board. And he slams it home. Carter, hook shot, good off the glass. Landry lost that one. The pass was too far out of his reach, but was deflected by Brescia. And we have a timeout. 67-57, Brescia with the lead with 11:24 to go here in the River States Conference Game of the Week. You're watching IU Southeast Men's Basketball on the Grenadier Sports Network. Welcome back to the River States Conference Game of the Week. Brescia leads number 24 IU Southeast 67-57 with 11:24 to go. Grenadiers need a run. Stanton, good for 3. He's got 9. He's got to get going. Got a battle down low. McDaniel and Jackson. Now McDaniel drives, and he traveled. Sawyer, nice pass, and Lewis couldn't get the dunk. And Howard scores. And then so Jamie Johnson's going to pick up a foul away from the ball here. So Wiley Brown's going to call a timeout here to try and get an explanation. It looked like Howard had an issue with the contact, or he got poked in the eye or something. And then Johnson, either one of the two of them ran into each other. And the call was offensive foul on Johnson. So it'll be Brescia basketball. So after all that, it's Brescia basketball. McDaniel has it. And there's a foul. Jackson gets to the basket and scores, and he's fouled. Jackson misses, but Robert Sawyer grabs the board, and finally they call a foul. It's on Carter. So Sawyer makes the first. Makes both. So it's a 6-point lead for the Bearcats. Ball's deflected and stolen. And a bad pass by Stanton. Goodness gracious. 3 for Gerald's. Good. IU Southeast is just out of control. They just got to slow down. There's plenty of time. You don't need to just try and take it to the basket every single time 150 miles an hour. They're shooting themselves in the foot. Faree is fouled. He'll be at the line for the 1-and-1. Carter's fourth. Missed it. Goodness. And that's turned over. Howard just dribbled that out of bounds. Lost it. Sawyer up and under and scores. Howard, no. Rebounded Sawyer. He's all over the place. Here comes Stanton. Stanton to Mills. Back to Sawyer. To Stanton. Down to Sawyer. Mismatch. Double team now. He doesn't care. He missed it, and he got his own miss, and he tipped it in. And that ball is lost. Johnson scores on the other end. We've got a timeout. Rowland lost the ball. And Brian Skorts is going to call for time. It's a full timeout. Brescia with a 73-70 lead here, 8:32 to play. You're watching the River States Conference Game of the Week on the Grenadier Sports Network. Brescia basketball after the timeout. Johnson all over Rowland. And then he gets tripped. Gerald's missed it. Rebounded McDonald. Ball's on the floor. Battled for. And it's a jump. And it's going to go to IU Southeast. Stanton. Jackson. Back to Stanton. He fakes. Dishes to Jackson. He scores, and it's a 1-point lead for the Bearcats. Gerald's all the way, and he's fouled. Rattles the first one in. .28. Now for Gerald's, the sophomore from Tompkinsville, Kentucky. Missed the second one. Sawyer grabs the board. Stanton dishes to Sawyer, and he scores. Basket and the foul. He was in the circle, was McDaniel. That's the call. Sawyer completes the three-point play. 21 for him. Grenadiers lead, 7.5 to go. Johnson to Gerald's. Gerald's with Sawyer on him. Now it's Johnson, fade away. Good. Stanton to Johnson. Shoots, gets it to go. This is a shootout, goodness. Might be last shot wins. Johnson, another one. That time it's blocked by Jamie Johnson. Here comes Stanton. Kicked by Tavon Johnson. And then knocked out of bounds, last touched by the Grenadiers. And Brian Scorch is going to take another timeout. So, 77-76, IU Southeast with the lead. 6:39 to play here in the second half. You're watching the River States Conference Men's Basketball Game of the Week on the Grenadier Sports Network. Stolen by Stanton. Landry scores. Oh, my goodness. What a play. I don't know how Stanton found him. Whoa. What a save. What a steal and a save by Stanton. A pass to Landry, and he finishes. Missed the free throw. The free throw line may come back to haunt the Grenadiers here. They lead by 3 now with 6.5 to play. Rowland answers on the other end. Landry, triple team, deflected, out to Mills, back to Landry. Landry spins, and he's fouled. And the Grenadiers are in the double bonus the rest of the way. Landry misses another one. Landry makes the second. Rowland all the way, missed it. Picked up by Johnson. Johnson blocked by, oh no. They say they foul on Mills, and that'll take us to a timeout. Grenadiers lead at 80-78 with 5:44 left to play here in the River States Conference Game of the Week. You're watching IU Southeast Basketball on the Grenadier Sports Network. Johnson at the line for 2. Gets the roll. Second one's missed. Sawyer to the basket, and he's fouled by Carter, and that's his 5th. McDaniel will check in for him. Another missed free throw. Short. He's battled all day. He's got to be tired. Second one's good. Back to a 2-point lead for the Grenadiers. 5.5 to play. Howard, good, with a hand in his face. He gives Brescia the lead. Stanton, Mills for three, and tries to answer, and he does. Gerald sends Landry up in the air, missed it. Sawyer with the board. Stanton, change of speed, scores. Howard drives on Mills, floater, good. Sawyer, top of the key, drives, lost the ball out of bounds. That's going to stay with IU Southeast. Three for Johnson, good! He's asking for an and one. The official says the defender went straight up. It doesn't matter, it's a three for the Grenadiers, and Wiley Brown calls timeout. Big shot for Jamie Johnson, he's got 17. Grenadiers lead it, 3:45 away from a River States Conference championship. Back in a moment. Brescia basketball after the timeout. The Bearcats trail by 5 with 3:35 to go. Here's Gerald's. Landry on him. Over to McDaniel. Howard down to Gerald's. Hook shot, no, too strong. Landry rebound. Pulls it out. Smart move. Down to Sawyer. Backs down McDaniel. Stanton for three. Short. Howard all the way. Scores. 17 for Howard. Here's Stanton. Brescia wants to travel. Johnson for three. No. Knocked out of bounds. It goes to Brescia. McDaniel. Back to Tavon Johnson. Gerald to Johnson to Howard. 10 to shoot. Howard. Johnson to the basket. Blocked by Jackson. And a steal almost thrown away. Jackson grabs it. Johnson pulls it out. Rowland almost had that one, but he was falling out of bounds. He had to save it. He just threw it back in toward midcourt, and Jackson pulled it away. Sawyer to the basket. No. Tip. Grabbed by Geralds. Timeout. Brescia. (89-86). IU Southeast with the lead here in the River States Conference Game of the Week, and what a game it has been. Back in a moment on the Grenadier Sports Network. Brescia basketball after the timeout. Almost a 5-second call, but Johnson will call a timeout after he couldn't find anybody to get the ball into. Nice defense there on the inbound. And Brescia is down to their final timeout. So, quick reset here. Brescia with one timeout left. The Grenadiers have two. The possession arrow is in the favor of the Bearcats. Grenadiers in the double bonus. Brescia on their next foul will be in the 1-and-1. .140 to go. 89-86. Grenadiers with the lead. The Bearcats get it in this time. Johnson to McDaniel. McDaniel's going to drive and gets the roll. 89-88, 120 to go. Here's Stanton across the timeline. To Landry. To Jackson in the corner. 15 to shoot. Stanton pulls it out, 10 to shoot. We come up on a minute to go here in the game. Stanton to the basket. Basket and one! Howard picks up his third. Can Stanton make this a two-possession game? Good. 14 for Demetrius. And Johnson is going to be called for that foul, I believe. Yes. You just don't want that right there. Let him catch it. Let him run some clock off. And get into a good half court set.
And the line for Brescia number 2, Taylor Johnson, will shoot 1-1.
Made it. Back to a three-point game. 14 now for Johnson. Makes both of them. So it's a 2-point lead for the Grenadiers, 58.1 to go. Stanton. Landry. Bad pass, turnover, and a foul on Sawyer. You can't throw that pass there. So Johnson back at the line for another 1-and-1. Makes the first. Second one is good as well, and we're tied. Faree will check in for Landry. .40 seconds to go, tie game. Stanton to Faree for three. No, rebound, batted around, grabbed. And Brescia's going to have a chance for the final shot. 18 to play. Eight seconds. Johnson still holding. Here he goes. Johnson fakes. Missed it. He missed it, and we go to overtime. The ball just rolled off. Overtime in New Albany. 92 all. Back in a moment. Overtime in New Albany here in the final game of the regular season. What a game it has been. Three for Howard, off. Rebounded Sawyer. What was that? I don't understand what they saw there. Thrown away. Brescia basketball. Gerald's blocked. Sawyer finds Johnson for three. Bang! Johnson with 20. Howard backs down Jackson. Fades away, air ball. Gerald's is there for the putback. (95-94). IU Southeast with the lead. Sawyer spins, and he's fouled. Sawyer for two. Missed it. Good on the second. 96-94, IU Southeast, 23 for number 23 in his final regular season game here in New Albany. Gerald's. Drives, dishes, Johnson. Travel. They don't call an offensive foul, they call a travel. Either way, Grenadier basketball. Stanton crosses over. Sawyer picks up the loose ball. Sawyer around his man, tries to dunk it. He missed it. Three for Gerald's. No. Sawyer and McDaniel come together on a jump ball, and will be IU Southeast basketball. Stanton to Landry, and another jump ball. And it'll go back to Brescia. Johnson with Stanton on him. Dribbles to the left wing now. 15 to shoot. Bad pass, deflected, and grabbed by Howard, and another jump ball. When's the last time you've seen that happen? Jump balls on 3 straight possessions. So it'll be Grenadier basketball. They clean the floor up here. What a game to close out the regular season. The Grenadiers will be at home on Wednesday night in the quarterfinal round of the River States Conference men's basketball tournament. They're guaranteed home court the first 2 rounds. With a win here today, they'll be the regular season champion and the #1 overall seed. And they will have home court throughout the tournament. Games are played at higher seeds throughout. Johnson to Jackson. Stanton, 10 to shoot. Stanton to Jackson, who scores. 98-94. IU Southeast with the lead, 2 minutes to go in overtime. 3 for Geralds. Missed everything. McDaniel will check in for the Bearcats. Johnson gets a screen from Sawyer to Jackson. Trying to go down low. He finds Sawyer now. Back to Stanton, 10 to shoot. Lost the ball. Here come the Bearcats. And that's stolen. And what do they call? Timeout. Rowland threw a bounce pass that bounced twice. It was stolen. The Brescia player fell on top of the Grenadier player. I think it was Johnson. It may have been Stanton. And IU Southeast calls timeout before the jump ball. So it will remain with the Grenadiers with 1:20 to go here in overtime. So after the timeout, Johnson will trigger it in. He'll have Stanton right in front of him. Sawyer will also come back. And he calls another timeout. And we'll be back in a moment. Grenadiers, 98-94 with the lead. 1:20 to go here in overtime in the River States Conference Game of the Week. You're watching IU Southeast Men's Basketball on the Grenadier Sports Network. Jackson triggers it in to Stanton. Pressure now and a foul. Jackson is fouled, and he will go to the line for 2. Howard picks up his 4th. Jackson's good on the first. Can you make this a 6-point lead for IU Southeast with 1:15 to go in overtime? He can. 14 for Jackson. Here comes Tavon Johnson. Johnson to Howard for 3. Off. Rebounded Jackson. Here comes Jamie Johnson on right by the sideline, and he is trapped in the corner, and a jump will go to Brescia. Good defense there by the Bearcats to trap Jamie Johnson in the corner and then force the jump ball. Gerald's. McDaniel fakes, drives on Sawyer. He lost the ball. And a foul. 46.1 to go now. And Sawyer will be at the line. I think he's beginning to cramp. He was trying to stretch out his hamstrings right before that inbounds pass. So we'll see if he has enough strength in his legs to hit these free throws. Short. Makes the second one, nothing but net there. 101-94, 46.1 seconds to go here in overtime. Johnson to the basket, and he scores. Timeout, Brescia. Strong move there by Johnson. He's got 19. (101-96) now. IU Southeast with the lead. 38.5 seconds to go in overtime. Back in a moment. Jackson thought about throwing a home run ball. Instead, he triggers it into Stanton. Stanton dribbles and is fouled.
Foul number 12, Mason Rowland, that's his fourth. And the line for the Grenadiers of the court, H.B. Stanton, he'll shoot two.
Stanton's on the line. He said, give me the ball. 2 shots for him. Good on the first. On the second, he's good. 103-96 now. IU Southeast with the lead, 33 seconds to go. Geralds steps back for 3, fadeaway, short, rebounded by Johnson. He scores. And Brian Scorch will take his final timeout. Grenadiers get the ball in, take the foul, hit your free throws, and just play good defense. The perimeter shots have stopped falling for Brescia here. I would say the last 7 minutes of the the second half, and in this overtime, they've had to do most of their damage down low. We'll see if they've got a couple more threes in them to try and get a miraculous comeback. And we'll see if on a night when the free throws did not fall for the Grenadiers, if they can hit a couple here and seal this win and a River States Conference championship. And White is fouled. White's good on the first. Can make this a 3-possession game with 21.8 to go. He misses it. Here comes Johnson. You don't need to foul him, and if you do, you need to foul him. Make sure he can't score. That was a little too close for comfort. Johnson will be at the line for 2. Makes the first. And the second. So 104-100. Grenadiers with the lead with 15.3 to go. There's the home run ball. Stanton finishes. Johnson answers on the other end. And a foul by Geralds on Stanton with 6.8 to go. First one rims out. Gerald's has 30 points today for the Brescia Bearcats. What a performance for him. And he's going to be around for 2 more years. The Bearcats have some players. Johnson, a junior. Howard, a senior. Nice performance from him. Stanton knocks in the second. Johnson for 3, no. Tip, no good, and it's over. The IU Southeast Grenadiers win it 107-102, and they are your River States Conference regular season champions. And the